I'm Barbara Hoffman, author of Eat Yourself Slender. Why am I fat, you ask? I don't eat a lot. Well, I can tell you why, and it's not your fault. Insulin is the culprit. Insulin is the fat storage hormone, and you'll get it right here, the wheat belly, the muffin top, whatever you want to call it. Constant high insulin levels make you fat. Now, why do I have constant high insulin levels? I never heard of this. Well, when you eat carbs, you raise your blood sugar and you stimulate the release of insulin. This is normal. When sugar's in your blood, insulin comes out to take care of it. Insulin tells the body, use what you need and store the excess glucose for future use. And glycogen is created and stored in the muscles and the liver. But when excess carbs are consumed, and it's not hard to consume excess carbs, and that's what we're going to be working on in the Eat Yourself Slender program, the body creates another storage form, fat. Insulin tells the body not only to store new fat, but also tells you not to release any previously stored fat. Oh my! Do you have midsection fat? High insulin is the culprit. Now, it's important for you to know all carbs break down into sugar in the body. Now, all white flour turns immediately into sugar. It does not have to be a sweet food, people. A bagel can hike your blood sugar as much as a donut. I know, it's shocking, but this is information that will change your life. Now, when you eat too many carbs in a day, which is not hard to do in our society and the way we eat, insulin levels remain high all the time, and they don't normalize. They're supposed to spike and go back down, but when they're always high, you, my friend, are in fat storage mode, where you don't want to be. The worst news is insulin also works to create new fat cells. So what happens? Insulin works to increase the fat we store, decrease the fat we burn, and creates new fat cells. So that's the answer to why am I fat when I don't eat a lot. It's high insulin, high estrogen, or both. Now, we all know about using progesterone cream to balance estrogen. But what can we do about this insulin? The answer? We're going to stabilize our levels. If you continue on the path of eating lots of sugar and carbs, the next step is something called insulin resistance. I'll touch on it briefly. The more insulin you secrete, the likelier it is that your cells, who are very smart, will become resistant to it. They won't open the door when insulin comes knocking because they don't want any more insulin inside of them. They don't need it. So they leave it in your bloodstream. So now we're storing more and more calories as fat. This is also called metabolic syndrome. You've probably heard of it, also syndrome X. What happens? We get fatter, which we all been there, lose control of our blood sugar, develop high blood pressure, your HDL cholesterol goes down, your LDL goes up, you can lead to a pre-diabetic condition and eventually diabetes. And also, this syndrome has been associated with Alzheimer's disease and cancer. Wow! You ask, Barbara, how can I stop this? Well, I'm going to show you, and that's part of Eating Yourself Slender. You don't have to starve yourself to reverse this syndrome. Protein, protein, protein. We are eating too many carbs, and they're spiking our insulin because they convert to sugar. Why is protein so good? It keeps your insulin levels steady and normal. The only way to gain weight eating protein is to overeat it. Now that's hard. Try eating 1,000 extra calories of chicken. That's about 5 full chicken breasts. You really can't do it. But carbs and sweets, we can easily overeat. We've all been there. And they have to be avoided if we want to reverse this. And we want to get rid of that belly and that extra weight that we're carrying around that's depressing us. Now you can see that white carbs turn to sugar. I think people know that. Does anybody buy white bread anymore? No. But all carbs will do this. Complex carbs found in breads and grains do it more slowly than others, but they still do it. Have you heard of the book Wheat Belly? Wheat also converts to sugar. So wheat bread that you think is healthy and you're giving it to your family converts to sugar. We need to cut that out. We're not going there anymore. Sugary foods are just as bad. We all know that. Sugar is the enemy. It's toxic beyond its calories and very addictive. Now the shocker, remember this. I want you to come away from this video with this. 4 grams of sugar in a product is 1 level teaspoon of white sugar. So when you pick up a box in the market and you see it has 8 grams of sugar and you think, oh, that's not bad, that's 2 teaspoons of white sugar. If there's 40 grams of sugar, that's 10 teaspoons of sugar. And some yogurts and soft drinks have 40 grams of sugar. So your body will not be able to burn all this sugar, my friends. It will get stored as fat. And then, the worst part, as your insulin levels rise, you get hungrier and hungrier and crave more sugary foods. Why? Because insulin is rampant now in your bloodstream, and insulin's saying, give me some sugar. That's what I want. I want sugar. Come on, carbs, give it to me. And the foods that make us fat make us crave foods that make us fat, and we're on the vicious cycle. You can stop this forever, I promise. Take my sugar challenge. Please try to give up sugar and white carbs for 2 weeks. The only white thing I want you to eat for 2 weeks is cauliflower. You can do it. I've got a great recipe for cauliflower pizza crust. I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel and you can watch it. It's fabulous. Tastes wonderful. Better than regular pizza crust. Now, I will warn you, when you first try to give up sugar, it can be almost painful if your body is addicted. You will crave it. But there's some good supplements that can help with this. 5-HTP is one of them. But don't give in. Let that period pass, because it only takes about 10 to 14 days and you'll be free. Now, I urge you to eat more protein. I will show you how in my Eat Yourself Slender videos. If you haven't watched any of them, I'm doing all great little cooking shows that will show you great protein meals that are easy and will not break the bank for you to go out and make them. Now, one more thing, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to tell you, and this might be a little sad to hear, but be careful with fruit if you're over the age of 45. For some reason, over the age of 45, some people don't do well with fruit. Fruit contains fructose, which is a sugar. And believe it or not, it's the same sugar in the long run that can cause that insulin belly. So fruit can be fattening. The lowest amount of sugar is found in oranges, peaches, and berries. I did a test where I did not eat any fruit for about 10 days, and I weighed myself same weight for 10 days. I ate some persimmons, some strawberries, a pear, an apple. I was doing an experiment on your behalf, and the next morning I was 1 pound up. Now, I won't store that fat because I know to go back to protein. But if you don't know this information, it just keeps packing on the pounds. So what's my best tip for you before we get to the end of this? Eat a protein breakfast. Are you eating toast for breakfast? Please stop. The usual 2 slices of toast converts to about 6 teaspoons of sugar. Imagine what that's doing to your insulin levels. And then at 10 o'clock, you're starving because you've had the crash and the burn. So no more toast, and please, no more cereal, bagels. You can have oatmeal if you're putting protein powder in it, because that's going to help. There's something called PGX crystals. I've done a little YouTube video on that will normalize the insulin levels in oatmeal. For most commercial cereals, please don't give them to your children. They'd be better off if you threw away the cereal and had them eat the box. People, please understand, to get your body to burn fat, and you need to decrease carbs and increase protein, because protein increases your metabolism and stabilizes that insulin level. Insulin is a bully. Don't let him win. Stand your ground. The battle is a worthy one and you will win it. So I want you to just keep tuning in to my channel, because I'm going to show you very easy things. I'm not an industrious cook. I do very simple things. And that's what I want for you. I want you to be able to feed your family in a healthy way, not spend a lot of money, and eat yourself slender. Thank you for joining me. I'm on your side. I'm going to put this all into action for you. No more deprivation, counting calories, starving yourself, yo-yo dieting. I've been doing this for many years. I know this works. I've watched hundreds of thousands of people, lose weight, and I want that for you. So stay tuned.